your goals, your vision in life, it matters. I mean, it really, really matters. It matters so much that, well, God said some things about this, right? In Romans 12:1, therefore I urge you, brothers and sisters, in view of God's mercy, to offer yourself or your bodies as living sacrifices, holy and pleasing to God. This is your true and proper worship. Don't conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you'll be able to test and approve what God's will is, His good and pleasing and perfect will. God has something uniquely in store for you, for me too. He has uniquely gifted you to do something for this world. And that something might just be to be a faithful worker at your job. Right? To faithfully do the best that you can. If you're a garbage collector or a corporate lawyer, doesn't matter. God has called you to live intentionally. To live intentionally for Him and for His glory. So, you've got a vision by now, and you've got an idea of what you want to do. The big question is, how do you actually do it? How do you make the steps? So these are tips, and tips from my life, tips from the books I read, tips especially from Michael Hyatt's book. But how do you actually accomplish these types of goals? A few ideas. Number one, start. There's something that you just need to do. You need to get off the couch and go do it. What is it you've got to start? Secondly, if it's a big, audacious goal, do this. Do the easiest part first. Now, I've written 12 books. That's a lot of work. Writing a book is like, well, I'm going to say like giving birth, but I've never given birth, so I better not say that. I guess I just did. It's hard. But I always started with the easiest part. The easiest part is like the table of contents. And then you do the easiest chapter first. Do the easiest part, then you get confidence, and the confidence builds and it builds. Do the easiest part first. Get help. Kind of like the last video, we talked about having somebody to share it with, a trusted friend. Get some help. This might require a coach. I know, again, I've used the metaphor or the goal of doing Ironman triathlons, but I was most successful when I had coaches. I've had different coaches. They really helped me. These people who are experts. So if you need help, find somebody. It could be help with a marriage. It could be help with whatever your goal is. Help with fitness. Help with, Number 4, just do this. Put it on the calendar. If it's sort of a habit goal, put it on the calendar for this week. What do you need to do? Do you need to learn something? Do you need to read a book? I plan to read this many books this year. That means that you're going to set aside 30 minutes a day. You get the idea, right? Put it on your calendar or it's not going to happen. Have a reminder beep at you. I don't know. Whatever it takes. Michael Hyatt talks about triggers. I thought this was a pretty interesting concept, and I'm just going to quickly summarize it. The idea is that you set things up that automatically trigger. So let's say that you want to spend more time at home, all right, and you want to turn everything off so you can focus on your family when you get home. That's a huge goal, a very important goal, maybe. That means, what are the triggers? Well, trigger number 1, maybe you don't bring your laptop home. All right? Or trigger number 2 is there's a beep that happens at 4:40 that says, I've got to shut down because at 5 o'clock I've got to leave. And then you stick with it. So build things in that are sort of just automatic. It's like, oh, okay, it's time for me to shut down whatever I'm doing at work. Or if you're exercising, one thing I do is I set out my exercise clothes the night before so that when I wake up, I automatically put them on so that I'm ready to go do whatever exercise I want to do. So think of ways that will trigger you to greater success. Maybe this last one. Keep it front and center. That means you need to make sure that you're thinking about your goals, your vision, sort of all the time, or not, I don't know, all the time, but for a lot of your day. So, and I've shared this, I have a planner, and the planner has daily goals. So the beginning of every day, not every day, but days where I'm kind of in that mode, I'm going to write down the 3 things that I want to do today. The number 1 thing I wrote down for today was to make these 2 videos. I made this video and the last video, and I said, that's the thing I need. If I accomplish anything, this is what I want to do today. All right. So that's, let's say, daily goals. I also sit down and I have weekly goals. So what are my top goals for the week? I review those every Sunday morning, and I take some time to say, what is it that I want to accomplish this week in light of my vision for my life and my yearly goals, and then that would also review them quarterly. So at the end of every quarter, it's part of my process, I'm going to review what's happened the last quarter and ask myself, did I accomplish the goals? Am I moving towards the direction that I want to move and to live intentionally? And by looking back at my weekly and my daily goals. And then what often happens is I look at the goals and the vision, and things need to be tweaked. So for example, I had some financial goals, and then, sometimes they don't always work out. So it's like, how can I adjust this in light of new realities and light of whatever it might be? I might have some goals with habit goals. I've got a goal about learning how to speak Spanish. How's that going? I've got goals about spending time with my wife. I can review it, look back. Did I put it on my calendar? Sometimes the answer is no. I need to revisit it. It's just this after-action review that we talked about earlier. Because ultimately, guys, this is all about living our lives in an intentional way for the glory of God. I came across a passage this morning that not just but like totally hit me here. But I think that just really sums up what we're learning. I mean, this is it, guys. This is the last session. And then we got to do it together, right? Hebrews 12, 1 and 2. Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles, and let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us, fixing our eyes on Jesus, the pioneer and perfecter of our faith. For the joy set before him, he endured the cross, scorning its shame, he sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. Here's what struck me. And let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us. God has a race marked out for you, for me, and actually for us. All right? As a group. Don't think this is you just accomplishing your goals. The Bible is like crazy clear. There's a lot more y'all verbs. When you see the word you in the Bible, oftentimes it's the plural you, as we like to say in the South, y'all. So he's got a race marked out for us all. Because what's that going to look like? How are you going to live your life intentionally? It's going to take courage. It's going to take humility. It's going to take some discipline. And it's going to take some friends. So as we close in our last face-to-face session, let's think about what that is going to look like and how y'all can live life together for the glory and the majesty and the awesomeness of the kingdom, because God has something uniquely he wants you to do and be about. We'll catch you.